going on, man?
How y'all doing?
How
Hey,
are you?
all right. Where you calling from?
I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta. Okay. How you
Sir.
pronounce your name?
Lucci.
Lucci. Okay.
Yeah, just like the rap.
Okay. What's going on, Lucci?
Not much cooling, man. I've been following y'all page for I say about 8 months now, and I like what y'all doing. I feel y'all just trying to raise awareness to this type of thing, and it's a lot of guys out here like me that we don't have a voice. And when I reached out, I just wanted to share my story with the world. Just to raise awareness.
Okay.
Well, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you. We appreciate all the feedback. Anybody tuning in, like and share the live and subscribe. We do this for not just cause. It's definitely for a reason. So again, thank you for joining us. So let's get into it. You said you're calling us from Atlanta. How many kids do you have?
I got 3 kids.
How many different women?
2.
How many of your kids are being alienated or have been alienated?
All of them.
So, okay,
Man.
two different women, three children, and all of them have pretty much been kept from you.
I mean, if I had access to them, I would I would see my kids. I would do things with them. I just pay child support, and that's pretty much it.
So was it a situationship? Was y'all
No,
married?
my first kid's mom. I got 2 boys by her. Yeah, I wanted to marry that woman. Well, I would have liked to marry that woman. Um, I met her, I say a couple months after my mom passed, 2009. And, it was we was young, so it wasn't really nothing serious. We didn't have any plans for each other. We kicked it for a couple months and then she disappeared. I really didn't hear or see from her much after that. And she popped back up on my doorstep, middle of the summer, big as a house, pregnant. And it's like, what the hell? Well, I'm a man. I know what I did. I know what I was doing with her. So, like I say, my mom had just passed. I was in a real vulnerable state. I was grieving. So I really just never asked any questions. I didn't have any kids at the time. So it was like, okay, cool. And I never questioned it. I moved in my house with me. Um, she had the kid. I never asked no questions. It wasn't until other people started reaching out to me years later um, about what was going on, because there was another guy that was being contacted about my supposed to be child. And
Wow.
yeah, if this is my child, why is this guy being contacted? So I
Exactly.
took it upon myself. I went and got an order quick, and a lot of guys don't know about that. CVS, Walgreens, any drugstore, order quick. You could do a DNA test yourself, get your results back in about a month or two, just depending on how quick you move. But I did that. Results came back. She wasn't mine. Um,
Wow. So how did that make you feel, bro, at that time? Being that you just lost your mom and then
I was numb. I'm numb right now at this very moment we speaking. Um, I found out she wasn't mine, and I didn't even go right into it with confronting her about it. Um, Christmas Eve, I spoke with her about it, and she didn't really have much to say.
mm,
Um, Somehow, well, when I spoke with her about it, she was pregnant with my son.
So she was already pregnant when you found out that the first child wasn't
Wasn't
yours.
mine, so she was already pregnant with my junior, and he's mine. So
Okay.
now I'm stuck dealing with this woman who I was pretty much dealing with because I had a kid with her, and the kid turned out not to be mine. Um, but long story short, I stayed. I tried to make the best of it. This was my child. She's been knowing me. I was the only thing she knew. So I continued to take care of my daughter. I took care of my son. We ended up having another son after that. But throughout all of this relationship, it went on over a period of 6 years. And throughout the entire 6 years, we were up and down. I had mentally checked out a long time ago. It
Mm.
just seemed like she wasn't on my team. Anytime I get to a certain level, she would do something to just destroy it. And I got to a point where I was in my late 20s, and it's like I don't have much time left to put points on the board. So I separated myself from her. Um,
So you ended it, the
yeah,
relationship.
I had to.
Okay.
She
And
begged.
before we dive deep into like or what happened and the actual split,
Mhm.
tell us about the second baby mama and what happened with that situation.
Man, that was just me out here running a wild. I made my third child. She's a girl. Her and my last son are 10 months apart. There was never no relationship with her mom. Her mother is older than me. She's about 9 years older than me. Um, it was never really she wanted something that I didn't want. And
So it was a situationship.
yeah, it wasn't really much nothing serious. That's why when I speak about my kids, when it comes to my daughter, that's a different situation. Yeah, her mother is alienating me or whatever, that's cool. But it's just a simple reason. It's not nothing where it's just super deep. She wanted to be in a relationship. I didn't want to. She started being spiteful, put me on child support. And as simple as that. She reach out every now and then, but not much. It's never nothing consistent.
How old are your kids now today?
12, 10, and 9.
And so, before we even get into the gist of once you left and how you started being alienated from the boys first, when is the last time you've seen any of your kids?
I seen my sons in maybe April of this year. Um, I was just unusual. I mean, it was just out of the ordinary. I was over at my grandmother's house one day, and someone knocked on the door, and it was my two sons. Um, I guess their mom. I guess that's what she does to. I don't know. Keep herself. I don't understand. I don't
Okay.
understand
So
why
she
you.
just dropped them off randomly
No,
one
she
day.
doesn't even drop them off. They stay there about 5 minutes, and she's gone.
So what,
Never.
like,
So do they know
They know.
their sister?
Yeah, they know their sister. Everybody know each other.
So everybody is in the same city and town or whatever.
I mean, in Atlanta, a lot of people. I live in the city of Atlanta. I live in Fulton County. My kids live in Fulton County. My daughter lives in Clayton County, which is a little city outside of Atlanta. I can't even say it's little. It's quite big.
Yeah.
But Clayton County is the outskirts. She live out that way. So I really don't like her school system. Everything's way out there. I don't even go to Clayton County.
So what about her? When the last time you seen her?
Court order.
Or order meaning what?
I can't talk to her. I don't want to talk to her. I mean, to be honest with you,
so is it like she got like a TR or TRO against
Order
you,
of
order of
protection.
protection against you or something?
this is a mutual agreement. I don't want to be bothered. You don't mean me no well. I don't got time for the extra. The jails in the South, they don't play. A woman can tell them anything, and it'll be 2 years before anything is done about it. You'll be in jail before they find out she was lying.
So what I'm trying to figure
She's
out, because you
dangerous.
said you said
She's
court order.
dangerous. Yeah, it's court
Wait,
order.
okay,
We
so
had an issue.
I don't wanna get sidetracked
Mhm.
before we move forward because when we spoke with her, you said it was a simple reason she was
It's just
there.
a simple
Boom,
reason.
boom. But how do we get into a whole, protective order and
I mean,
something that's violent?
things happen. Police reports are made. It's really not a big deal. It was all a bunch of hearsay. But it's court orders, and when everything was done, the judge asked me how did I want to go about it, and I said I didn't want any dealings with anyone.
So did you sign over your parental rights for her?
Nah, I pay child support for my baby. I ain't signing over nothing. But as far as her mother, it's gotten to the point where it's causing me health issues. Like I got high blood pressure due to dealing with things with them. It's just stressful. You understand? I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
No, we
It's
we
definitely
definitely
stressful.
it's
understand. I'm
Yeah.
just
stressful when a
asking.
person is going through, when a person is doing the things that they're doing, and you're spending so much, you're putting in so much effort and spending so much time to do these things, and it has nothing to do with a child. I think it's messed up. I took my daughter to Disney World. She wanted to go to Disney World. I took her to Disney World about a year or two ago. And when I came from Disney World, maybe 2, 3 days after, I got a child support letter in the mail. And it was at that point, it was just like, forget this, man. I do
So to
everything I'm
answer the
supposed
question, you haven't seen her in a year or two.
about a year or two, yeah.
Okay. All right. Because I know that's what people are going to want to know. So this is why I'm
Mhm.
asking. And I know you probably got a lot of information, and I know you
You
want,
just you just broke up a little bit.
I said, I know you got a lot of information. So I was asking the question because I know viewers are going to want to know when, when the last time you seen all of the kids before you get into the nitty gritty of what's,
I,
going on. So you can go get back to the boys and let us know how
yeah,
that.
I don't know how long it's been. It's definitely been about 2 years, maybe a little longer.
Okay. So to piggyback off of what you said with you breaking up with the boy's mom, get us
Hmm.
there and let us know how that started for you because you was with them if you were living with them
Yeah.
every day, right? And then it
Hmm.
went from that until you quit her, and then what was that like?
I had to leave for one. Like I say, this is the South. A lot of women, their characters. They like to cry for attention. They like to redirect attention to things. My kid's mom, I don't want to say that something is mentally wrong with her, but she's not all the way. She
But
couldn't
you
be all the way.
can, because we say it all the time on this
There's
platform.
something wrong with
No
them.
way these women can do the exact same
That's,
things and don't know each other. So it's clearly something that's
it's
mentally
got to
wrong.
be something with these scenarios. But y'all want me to continue about
Yeah.
when I
Go
left?
ahead. Yeah.
Okay, I left July the 5th of 2016. From July to August, my kid's mother begged me to come home. Begged me to come home. And I wanted to go home. You know, I've been with my family. This is what I'm used to. So I wanted to go home. But I didn't know what to do. It was a cycle. It was starting to be a cycle at that time where the same thing takes place and we never get past it. So I left. And you asking me to come home, I prayed about it. I prayed about it and I
Now,
went.
at this time, is the other baby mama in your life where you like dipping out on the first one?
I
Because
wasn't
I
never
know your kids
in a
are close.
relationship. I was never in a relationship with my daughter's mom.
Okay, well, were you stepping out on your first kid's
No,
mom?
I when I made my daughter, I was not with my
Okay.
son's mom. No.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was never any infidelity with the kids now.
Okay.
Okay.
But I left. I went to the house around August. It was like maybe the second week of August. My daughter called and asked for a pair of shoes. The first daughter that turned out to not be mine.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Dad, I want some shoes." And I ended up. I told her that I wasn't gonna be able to have them that day, and I ended up getting them that day. So okay, let me take my kids. They shoes. I called mom. Hey, I'm on the way with the shoes. She say okay. I get out there. Same scenario. You begging me to stay. Something wasn't right, and I'm looking around. It's just something not right. So we go into our room, and it's a video game hooked to my TV. I don't play video games, and my oldest son is like 4. He can't play video games because I tried to buy him one. She told me it was my kid's game. Lying. It's a pair of shoes parked in the corner. I say parked, but like they in the corner. Pair of shoes in the corner, and I just knew at that moment another guy was living there.
Wow.
Yeah, I mind you, this was like a slick month. I was gone, and the whole time you begging me to come home. We had a conversation. You wouldn't tell the truth. I tried to leave. I ended up going back inside to use the restroom. And while I was inside using the restroom, her and my son was standing at the bathroom door. She walked off. When I looked back up, it was four guys standing in front of me with guns
What?
in front of my kids.
Are you serious?
Now, God take the breath out of my body.
Mm,
Okay.
And
man.
What was that about?
so she had another guy living there. And when she was trying to lie and clear the situation up, you kind of notified them of what was going on. So to clear up that, you told another lie,
Mm.
which had people coming at me with guns in front of my children. The person that didn't want to be here, the person that left, the person that really is checking out of this situation, you put me in that type of position. So guys assaulted me. They stole stuff out my car. Police come. I didn't want to make a report because in a previous life I would consider myself a street guy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
everybody. I mean, we black. We were raised not to deal with police. Simple as that. I didn't do a report on it. They wanted to lock her up. I wouldn't let them. Um, I say maybe 2 weeks after that, the same guy saw me and shot at me again. This
What?
time I had my gun. I had left my gun in the car that first time that it happened. My gun was in my car. That's why they had the ups on me. And she let them in. She knew that I didn't have my gun. But the next time they saw me, they
Try to
shot
keep
at
that.
me.
Try to keep that out the camera.
Oh, okay.
I don't want them to block us.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a cigar. It's
Oh
not.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
It's
smoking.
all good. I just don't. You know how they is on here. But you
But
said the next time he saw you, he shot at you.
they shot at me about 2 weeks after that. Him and a couple of his friends, and they chased me. I jumped out my car and I shot their car back up. They left and sent the police back with two girls and a baby in the car and told the police I shot at them.
And all of this is because of what?
You could probably answer it better than me.
That's he the first. He the baby daddy.
No, this guy
Oh,
actually didn't stay around long enough for the seasons to change.
Wow.
He tore her car up, made her lose her job, sent it back to her mama's house, and she was looking for me to help her repair everything. I don't
After
even know
she
why.
put you
I,
at risk of
and
life
I mind you, hold on
endangerment.
now. They sent the police back. Two girls and a kid in a car saying that I shot at them.
That's
So
crazy.
I was arrested for this some years later, and I'm still fighting the case right now as we speak.
oh my God, bro. Yeah.
And
All of this is because
You didn't want to come be back with her, basically.
I don't even think that's it.
was
Honestly,
she scared
I
of
don't.
him or something?
I
And
don't
she,
to this day. I mean, he's from the city. He's a weenie. I don't. I don't think she was afraid of him. I don't. I don't. I don't think so. I wouldn't say that that was it. I think it was the hate, the hatred for me, the envy for me, what led her to do that. But
because that's a sensitive situation because
when I tell
your
people
kids is there.
my kids were there and they saw it and they remember this,
Oh wow.
they still remember this. My youngest son, he was 2 at the time. He remembers everything. He might have been 3. Don't hold me on that. He might have been 3, but he might have been 2. I want to
Man,
say my son was 2 years old. He wasn't that old.
So is this all of this? Is this the reason why you are
This is the
keeping your
reason.
distance?
This is the reason I just said fuck it and let I just couldn't. After all of that took place, I'm fighting these cases and paying for lawyers. I work 2 jobs right now. I just got off my second job. Out of all of that, I still I still remained a good father. I still took care of my kids. I found ways to communicate with them without dealing with her, even though she still would just insert herself into the situation.
Like
Motherboard.
always.
Um, I bought them phones. She took the phones and blocked my number from them. Um, and one day, for no reason at all, after I spent about 4,500 on school clothes and just supplies, winter clothes, I started Christmas. I had spent a lot of money on my kids, and it was kind of a slap to the face because after all of the things that I've endured dealing with your mother, I've overcome them, and I still remain a good father. I still do for you. I'm there for you morally. I'm there for you mentally. I'm putting these values in my kids still, even though I don't deal with their mother. And for no reason at all, put me on child support. After all of that, you
And
wouldn't.
that's just the first baby mama.
That's the first one. And I mean, like I say, when it comes to the second one, to be honest, it's a simple fix. She just wants to be dealt with. And what I mean by to be dealt with is, she want me. So as far as her, I keep my distance from all of them. My oldest son is 12. He'll be 13 in July. I mean, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. That goes by so quick, man. It'll be all right. I'll see them when they get older. As
So
far
do
as
you
me, I'm not trying to beat nobody.
so do
I'm
you
not.
think she's um psychologically trying to turn them against you? That form of parental alienation, telling them bad things about you to change
Hell
their
yeah.
perception.
Hell yeah. One day I had to tell my son the truth. I had to keep it all the way real with him, but that's how I realized he remembered what happened. He told me his mom told him that I cheated on her and had his sister. And I can deal with the truth.
You see why I asked you that question early on? Because that's what everybody gonna think.
They gonna
That's
try
the
to play that.
easiest way to play
Hey
it.
man,
Yeah.
I let y'all reach out to both of my baby mamas. I don't care what y'all think. I wasn't cheating on nobody. To this day in Atlanta, I'm a pretty popular guy. And I don't know many women that'll say that I lied to them about something dealing with them. I'm gonna be upfront with you. I gotta give you the option. Therefore, when you say yes and it goes wrong, will you agree to this? That's how I've always looked at things. I'm never gonna try to manipulate someone into doing something that I want. Because when it blows in your face, they're gonna hold you accountable because you lied to them. You didn't give them the option. And I've been lied to. Like that knock on my door about that child. If you'd have gave me the option, of course I'd have said hell no. But
Exactly.
it's the fact that you didn't even give me the option to choose. You just made that decision for me.
And you still stepped up and
What
I
about
did.
her? Have you had any contact with her? Any? Because
My
she's
son's
older
mom,
than them. How old is she now?
she's 14. And to be honest with you, I have had contact with her. I got a call from a buddy of mine asking me why was my daughter on Cleveland Avenue so late at night. So that was the first one. The second one was another guy
man,
reached out to me. He lives in the same apartment complex as them. And he was, he say he didn't realize who they were until he just really saw my son and realized this was my son. Like, oh shit, them Lucci kids. But he tells me that my little 14-year-old daughter leaves the house at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and just gets in Ubers and goes away. So my question is, if you were going to take that child away from me, you could have at least had something lined up for her.
exactly. Exactly.
If you didn't want me to be her dad, because I know her real dad.
Mm,
If you know Atlanta
Do
slang,
he know
boy,
that he's her dad?
yeah, he know he her dad. That boy ain't talking about nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
man.
I ain't never been talking about nothing.
So okay, back to your sons.
Mm-hmm.
She drops them off for a couple of minutes. They come in. Do you?
Mm-hmm. But they
How's
act
your
weird.
relationship with them? Like, do you feel like it's room
Mm-mm.
for
It's
growth?
getting it's getting distant. I used to be real close with my sons. I mean, real close to the point where If I wasn't there on Friday in a certain time, they'll start calling like, "Dad, where you at?" They don't call me throughout the week and ask, "Are you still coming to get me Friday?" They know I'm coming. But I noticed during the pandemic, and this how a lot of women move. It be the money. The reason I've always had access to my kids is because she's not capable of taking care of them on her own. That's the
Hmm.
reason that I've always had access to them.
And now, when
Um,
you say taking care of her on her own, is you
she's
talking
she's
about?
not financially able to take care of them by herself.
Okay.
So me personally, I just took it. I just took the whole load. I don't ask for anything. When it's school time, if it's my turn, I don't want nothing from you. If you want to buy something and add to what I already did, that's cool. But usually she doesn't. But y'all remember the pandemic? That pandemic changed a lot of people's lives, especially them girls who stay at home with them kids.
Mm.
And I noticed that once they started giving out them little tax credits, and I don't file taxes. I owe every year when it's time for me to do taxes because for so many years I was lied to about being able to claim one of my children. That when I do my 1099, I would put that it's me and one child, and they would pay me as if it's me and one child. But when it's time for me to do my tax return, I
You
don't
don't
have a
have a
different,
child with her.
so I owe now. Um,
Mm. Mm. Mm.
so I've never received a tax return due to that. I'm 35 years old, never received a tax return. Um, but like to get back on track, I noticed that once the government was passing out all this free money, I started to get this attitude of, oh, we don't need you. I don't need nothing from you. I started being all kind of broke niggas, and I'm talking about making fun of where I work at. I get to go to work. I'm getting picked at about my occupation. And
Man, gone.
it wasn't it. That's when I was like, yeah, she got some little money because every year around tax time, I get alienated until she's broke. So if she want to go pretend like they just rich and go on a little trip or something or go shopping, you keep me out the picture until you can, till you broke. She want to make it look like she's just this great mom, and you suck. You put your kid's life in danger because you couldn't tell the truth.
Yeah, that's my next question to you. So, like you said, she come around sometime and drop the kids off. Like,
She doesn't talk
how is
to
you
me.
able to still trust her?
I don't
Right.
trust her. That's not my home that she shows up to. She
Okay.
shows up to my grandmother's house, who's been living there since '98. So she's not going nowhere. You know where she lives. She send them in there, let them knock on the door. She doesn't even go. She doesn't interact with my family at all. She claims she doesn't mess with them. I don't.
Well, do
Nobody
the
did
kids
nothing to.
know? Do they know the family?
Yeah, my kids know their whole family. It's times that I get calls from cousins and relatives of mine when they see my kids and my kids know who they are. So my
So,
kids are
so,
very in tune with their dad's side of the family. It's just this
so what's
last
what's so
couple.
what's the motive behind it then? Like,
I
she
don't
just trying to
know.
be in tune with your family still, or something? Like, I'm confused.
To be honest with y'all, at the point that I'm at right now, I'm telling my story just because I've never been able to tell it. Nobody cares about what I went through. Nobody.
We do,
We do.
Yeah,
we do.
but just honestly, I'm sure you all can relate to this.
Most
Nobody
One
cares.
definitely.
hundred percent.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about you crying on Christmas because you spent money on toys and gifts that you're not going to be able to give your kids and you don't even know why.
So
Man,
true.
Nobody thinks about
So
that when
true.
you're online and a random number sends you a picture of your son at his graduation, but you weren't invited.
exactly.
That's where I'm at the point I'm at right now. I feel as if it's no hope. I've pretty much thrown the towel in on this situation. And I just wanted to share my story. I felt like I think I'm gonna feel better now that you
Yeah.
know someone's heard it. People heard my side because, to be honest with you, mutual friends or acquaintances that know us, they don't know my story. For one, I'm not telling you. It's
Mm-hmm.
Of
not your
course.
business. But two, she tells a whole nother version of it.
Oh
For
yeah.
To
sure.
to
And just by you not saying nothing, people already think
They
that
believe
you
it.
the deadbeat and
it,
all
it,
this.
you people know I'm not a deadbeat. People got eyes. Like I say, I'm a real popular person, and it's not that I'm a deadbeat. I just don't care no more.
So
It's like
what would you say to the people who will feel like you didn't, fight hard enough? Like we know a man should never
I'm a
have to fight,
person. I'm a
but
person. I'm a
you
person like everyone else, and I have a choice. And as a person, everyone has a choice. And I chose to remove myself from this situation. It's not beneficial to me. I
what
mean,
would you tell your kids at an older age?
oh, they gonna know everything. Everything is documented, even text messages. I got old phones that the iCloud full on, and I'm gonna make sure I hold on to these because one day you gonna see the stuff that your mama used to send me. You've never heard me speak to your mother in this character. You never heard me call out her name, disrespect her. You never seen me hit your mom. Um, but that day gonna come, and until it come,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep being me. When it's
So
a
I
lie, you gotta outlive that lie.
oh yeah.
Somebody tell
So
you a lie, you gotta outlive it. But she tells everyone that I knew the little girl wasn't mine. To make herself feel better about that, she tells people that I knew the child wasn't mine. And I just wanted, like, as if I wanted to be with you so bad that I agreed to take care of
But
another
it's
nigga
nothing
kid.
wrong. It's nothing wrong with you stepping up to take care of a child that's
It's
not
everything
yours.
wrong with that. It's everything wrong with it. Unless you in a situation where that child is willing to be loved, it's nothing.
Okay, so when I said that, I wasn't tailoring it to your particular situation. I'm saying that any man that is willing to step up for a child that's not their own, that is admirable. That's very
That's cool.
commendable.
Yeah,
Now,
it
if
is.
the person doesn't deserve that, then that's a whole nother lane. But I'm saying that you did a great thing and a good thing to try to be that child's father, no matter how dirty her mother was and no matter what the circumstances are today. You didn't have to choose that.
Yeah, it
especially
was.
especially how you chose it. She showed up and said the baby was yours, and then you found out it wasn't. Now, if she showed up with the baby
And
and you
told
did
me,
it,
like
yeah,
I said,
then
of course I would have said no.
exactly.
But
So now I see why for the
yeah, that's what
second
my.
for the second baby mama why you just
Didn't even
I
bother
was
because
out
entertain.
here just running wild, man. My brother was on the road. We was doing music, running in and out of hotels. I was wild for a little moment, and I was numb at the time too because I hadn't got a chance to grieve over my mother yet. This woman entered my life months after my mom passed away, and she just been causing confusion the entire time.
so
And
what went left with that situation?
was left with that situation.
No,
No,
what
what
went
went left?
left?
Like you said, you didn't want to be with the second baby mama, so she just started tweaking too.
Yeah, it wasn't even the fact that I wasn't dealing with her. I started dealing with someone else, and I got engaged. Um, and that's what.
That'll do it.
I got engaged,
Are you
and
still with her today?
who? My
Sure.
fiance?
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, we split up due to
Okay.
other
I
issues.
was gonna
We cool
say
though.
it had to be tough to go through that. Like,
I
being with a man
appreciate
that's, yeah.
for going through it with me. It's definitely not easy for a person to become a target and you don't even know.
Well,
She's she's been a bitch or a hoe since she came in the picture, and
mm-hmm.
she's never done anything to you. I've had situations where my daughter's mom would just completely make something up out of thin air, and she'd be standing on it. And I think too hard. I'm an overthinker. So if you come to me with something, I hope you thought it all the way through because I'm gonna put my mind to it. And if it's some bull, I'm gonna see. So if you come to me and you tell me a story that you're claiming a 7-year-old told you, and it's so vivid and so detailed, as if you were there, then
Like
Yeah.
about her being mistreated by your
yeah,
girlfriend or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. By her
Uh
Yeah, we know that
treat-
that's we. We know all this stuff all too well.
I mean, I
All
know
too well.
I kind of know y'all backstory too, a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely similar to that, and it was just simply jealousy, man.
Yeah.
I got sick of hearing the comparisons to us,
Yeah.
or anytime she's dating a new man, she keeps trying to force my child into the middle of this situation. And it's like, why are you trying to bond with this man with my child?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
This
And
is my
it
child.
never
She has
ends.
a dad. These women be out here talking about, oh, I'm a single mama. No, you're not. You're
Mm-mm.
single.
A
Exactly.
single woman, not a
Yeah.
You're a
single
single
mother.
woman. Yeah.
Hello.
These kids got they dad is there. And it's a lot of them.
Yep.
But it's definitely a mental thing. I remember a time where I got off work and I can't remember who it was, but someone told me, hey, you might want to look at your baby mama's Facebook. And I looked at her Facebook. She on Facebook saying stuff like, I'm so sick of doing all of this by myself. What are you doing by yourself staying at home? Because you don't pay for nothing. Not even the phone you writing that on. What you talking about? And I
Right.
was 21. I was 21 years old, 22 years old, taking care of my two little sisters and her and my kids. Like, so it's a real slap to the face to know that you just rode a scooter home in 30-degree weather and it's pouring down raining, and it's a female in your bed telling a lie on you. For what reason? I don't know.
So she seen you go through some stuff with your other baby mama, right?
No, 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 no. We still talking about the fur baby mom. We ain't talking
Mm.
about the second one, not the second one. The second one, I ain't got much to say about her. I never was in a relationship
But
with
you
her.
got a protective order, so it is something you can say about her because a lot of men need to
Well,
understand what that's like.
she used to ride past my house late at night. She used to do a lot of stuff. It's several reasons why this order of protection is put in place.
And maybe I guess you probably feel like you just don't want to even.
I don't want no dealings.
Yeah.
After that, it's just certain.
Did you get the order of protection or did she get it?
Well, it started from her calling the police.
Okay.
Yeah, she called the police and made up this big old story about me kidnapping my daughter. Okay, you know what? We through with this. If it wasn't for
Oh
the
yeah.
people at the school that heard you call me and tell me to come to the school, that saw you put the car seat in my back seat of my car. If it wasn't for them, I would have went to jail for kidnapping.
Yeah, so I guess you just don't feel safe at all dealing with her on
Yeah.
no
Those
terms.
type of people,
Not
they're
even
not
That's
safe.
support
They're
orders
out.
in place.
They're
yeah,
trying to
especially after
destroy
you got
you.
shot at.
Yeah, when people do those type of things, they do it for you to not come back from it. That's the type of thing someone does to you when they feel like you're not gonna shake back, like this gonna take you out the game forever. And throughout all of it, I always shake back. I
But I'm saying you were talking about her, pushing these guys on your daughter.
oh yeah, she does
How
that.
does that make you feel being absent now,
It
not
definitely
knowing?
bothers. It definitely bothers me. It definitely bothers me because
Cause she's a girl,
she's a
like
girl, and women, just me, based off of me dealing with women, I know that a lot of women are really gullible. I've met women, and within 12 hours of me meeting them, I'm unsupervised with all of your children, and it wasn't my choice. So
Yeah,
women
that's weird.
really, a lot of women. This isn't just her. This is
yes,
all
it's
through my
it's
20.
a it's a bad
Yeah.
reality.
Oh, I'm finna go to work. Can you watch them? You don't even know me.
Man, that's
That's
crazy.
insane.
But this is a thing. This is not just her.
Yeah.
This is a common thing with our women. They jump straight into situations and they expose their kids. I just feel like this. If you
Yeah.
have kids and you and their father isn't together, and I know it kind of sounds selfish, let them kids grow up first, man. For real, let them kids grow up and get out your house, because these are kids from that last guy. And I'm gonna just tell you how most men think. Most men don't want to take care of somebody else's kids. They don't. It's just simple as that. And this is me speaking Not just for me, but I'm speaking for a lot of other guys. Don't nobody want to take care of nobody else's kids. So for them to be having all these different men around these kids, and the reason I feel it's so many different ones is because you can't keep one. Like everybody gonna come into this situation and they're gonna leave. They're gonna evaluate things and say,
Right. They not gonna want to deal with you, your drama, your BS, and all these different kids and
I
different
don't date,
baby daddies.
I don't
No.
date women, I don't date women that don't get along with their kids' fathers. Yeah, if I date a woman with a kid, for one, two is your limit. I'm not going past two, and I'm really pushing it at two. But if you don't get along with this man, meaning if me and him can't say, "Hey, how you doing, brother?" and I
Hmm.
introduce myself and he introduced himself, I don't want to deal with you. I don't.
That's a smart man.
Whether it's coming
Because
from
a lot
him,
of guys out there not like that.
they
They
want to.
play the role.
Oh,
They
why?
jump right in.
Why I wish that nigga. Man, please. I'm not doing that. I'm not. I'm not doing that. Who? Why? This my girl. These my kids. No, sir. Those are not your kids.
Man, gone.
They're
It,
gonna grow up and not even like you.
we can't even say it's an Atlanta thing, even though the
It's a
other
word.
dudes
It's
in
this
that
is
area.
this
But
is
this is
our.
a all across the board thing. We see it all on the internet. We
But what
hear
we can
about it.
say,
It's everywhere.
what we can say, is this it's a people of color situation, of people of color problem. It's our problem. You don't see this from any other culture of people but us.
Which part of it? Which part?
All of it.
Uh,
No, that we can't say that because we get.
I can't say no. I'm not talking about the simple stuff like child support, bitter baby mamas. I know white guys on child support, baby mama putting them through the ringer. No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about the way that our women deal with raising these kids once they don't get along with the fathers anymore. The
It's a woman thing.
yeah.
We just know our culture and we've seen more of it because it's our
Yeah,
people,
because
but
these are my people, and I'm not really
it's
paying attention to
definitely
other people.
happening across the board,
And I
globally,
and I def
different countries. You there?
Lucci.
Until you come back. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
happening. We see it in different races, different countries, different types of walk of lives. People, this is a like women
Yeah.
have these babies and they just own them to them. They think that they can do whatever they want, and it doesn't matter what color their skin tone is and what language they speak. It's happening. We've seen and heard of this stuff happening all over the world. So
Yes.
it's not just a black thing.
Nah. These women, I think they focus be so much on destroying the man and hating him so much that they can't even be good parents. They lose sight of the simple things of just protecting their kids around, like he said, Lucci said, or other man that they just meeting, and they just be too caught up in the realm of things, man, and they can't even be a good person. They couldn't be a good parent. They consume themselves with this so much.
It's so bad to the
Huh?
point. Yeah, it's so bad to the point that like he said, they expose their kids. They put their kids in these predicaments, unsafe situations, toxicity, traumatic, dramatic, like the damage that's being done to these kids behind their behavior is just
Give me a second.
it's disheartening. So yeah, we were just saying that it's just not a black thing.
You all right?
Lucci,
Lucci.
you know we laugh
I
like
got
we
a call.
can't sit here while you hold a
I'm sorry.
conversation because my
I'm
phone been
sorry, man.
ringing too and I can't pick it up.
We understand you're a very important man
Yeah,
in the A
right.
town, man.
Man,
You
I'm
know you
sitting at
popular, but
I'm
right now
sitting at
we
the
got
No,
this.
gas station,
we
man.
about to wrap it up though. I just want to ask you this: if you could do anything different to try to make the situation better, what would that have been?
You mean if I could have done something different or now?
Yeah. No, before.
I want to dealt with them.
So what's your goals for moving forward with the kids? I mean, I know you said it, but people tune in for the ones that have not been
I mean,
watching.
I'm
Do
not
you
giving
plan to
no.
reconnect with your kids at some point?
I want to. I want to. But the obstacles that are put in front of you when it comes to this stuff, to be honest, right now, I can't even afford to fight for my kids. I
Mm.
can't afford it. I work two jobs just to be broke the same day I get paid. And it's rough out here, man. I keep in touch as much as I can. If they call me, I speak with them. I always let them know I love them. When I see them, I show them affection because they're not even being taught affection. They don't tell me they love me. It seems like it's forced when they say it. Well, not my baby boy. Nah, I got one son. He good. He'll be all right. But my other kids, man, I just feel like they not even being taught the things they need to be taught. Um, but as far as me trying to do something, I do have a plan, but it's not gonna go into play until like another year from now.
But you do have a
But
plan
that's
though.
fair. I mean,
Well,
that's
I got
fair.
to get off of this child support. I actually pay child support for that child that's not mine. Um, and I mean, I'm
And how
pretty
did
sure
that how
y'all,
did that come about?
He
Georgia.
signed the birth certificate.
I mean, yeah, I did sign the birth certificate,
That
but
made
that's
you
not
the
why
legal
they did it.
father.
Uh-uh. In the state of Georgia, I don't know how they do it where you all are from, but in the state of Georgia, the child support case cannot be established without them establishing paternity.
Paternity. Oh, okay.
Yes, and
I mean,
they
that's basically how it is everywhere.
Yeah,
But as
but
far
so
as
they
the
violated
legitimizing
my
of the kid,
they
that can play
violated my
into child
rights.
support.
oh, they definitely violated your
Yeah,
rights.
they
Yeah.
violated my rights to due process. So I'm pretty much like I say, it's a process, and I don't know if you all ever heard of Dev, the guy, the child support guy,
Yeah. And I was just gonna say,
but you got to pay that boy. He ain't cheap either, and I got to
yeah,
put it together. So
yeah,
when I get the money together, and a lot of things I've learned from him, honestly, just from watching him, because to be honest, if I would have known one little thing, and this is, I'm finna put these guys on some game. If you get a letter from child support and they summons you to come in, when you go in, do not sign that paper that they tell you to sign. Tell them that you do not consent to that service, and tell them that it's not needed in your life. Don't contact you no more, and you can leave. Nobody can stop you. It's nothing they can do. But you have to go in there and tell them, no, I don't consent to this, and don't sign that paper. When you sign that paper, you're giving them consent, and you're giving them consent to ruin your life. For
that's what
real.
I was gonna say when I said you signed the birth certificate. What I was saying was that that gave her the loophole to put you on child support. That's what I
Yeah,
was saying.
they they they
So
they did it. They did it, but they weren't supposed to, and they're
right,
gonna. They're
they never
everybody's gonna
are, and they
regret.
do it anyway.
Man, they gonna regret they did that. I knew enough to have them afraid of me. Like the child support services, these just a bunch of girls from the city, man. Somebody else bad, mad baby mama
Okay,
who work
okay.
at. It ain't
We
nothing but
we
somebody else mad
already
baby.
know, especially in Georgia.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
city
work at
All
child
asshole
support.
the
and
ghetto girls, all the
Yeah,
city
yeah, they
girls,
be talking.
they
Man,
run
I got
yeah,
them.
defense or
I
what it's
got them
called.
on camera
It's called defense. What's it
discussing.
called?
mm,
They discussing my matters all the way down. Everybody in the cubicle worried about what I'm talking about. So I started to record them. Yeah, I'm gonna sue all y'all. Y'all want to
So
gossip about me? Want to gossip about
somebody said going in after being summoned by the court is waiving your rights. Is
me? No,
that
that's not true. You have to go in. If you don't go in, they're gonna say that you are giving consent by not showing up. You gotta go
um,
in. When you go in there and they put you at that little table like you finna talk to somebody in jail, tell them folks, whoever it is at the glass, hey, yeah, I'm so and so. Yeah, I just came here to let y'all know that I don't consent to y'all services. Your services are not required in my situation. Um, please don't contact me no more. And leave.
well, we know for a fact that you have a right to do that for the first child because she's not biologically yours. But I
Mm-hmm.
guess you are gonna do what you have to do for the other three that you know are for sure your kids.
To be honest
And
with you, I'm gonna keep paying child support for all of them until I get. If I don't take my kids from their mom, and I don't want to take my daughter. To be honest with you, she might be a bullshit person, but she's a good mom. She might
Which
be
one?
what the
my
you talking
daughter's
about the
the
second baby
older
mama?
the older one. Yeah, the older one.
Okay.
She might be a piece of is person to me. But as far as my daughter, when I see my daughter, she's very well kept. She's very well mannerable.
But you also said you didn't feel like she was being taught things properly.
Right, because
So
she was
that
sneaking
takes
out. She
into
was sneaking out late at night.
no, not her.
That's y'all
That's the
got it
older daughter.
confused. This the
He's talking
Oh,
oldest
about
one.
the
oh,
second
that
My
was the
one.
other.
baby.
That was the baby girl.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
this my baby. She good. My little girl, she straight. Her mama, I'm just waiting on her to age out. When she age out, she gonna come find me. My little
So
girl
you
love
said
to
she's a good mom as far as just taking care of
taking care of my
her.
daughter, yeah, but as far as her
Okay.
being fair, as far as her allowing her personal feelings to intervene with me and my daughter, yeah, she does that too much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you know parental alienation makes you not a good parent. If
yeah,
you
of course.
alienate your child, you're not a good parent. I mean, clothes and shoes, anybody can feed and clothe
Mm-hmm.
a kid. But if
Mm-hmm.
you're not nurturing and
If you're
instilling
not
things
there
to them, you're
physically,
damaging them psychologically and traumatic, you are not a good parent.
Because
mm-hmm.
alienated kids, they go through so much in life. Like
A
Yes.
lot of
it
them
ain't.
have.
It's not gonna really affect them now. Only thing it's doing now is probably affecting you and your kids' relationship. Or as they
Mm-hmm.
get older, the
The
damage that they
mental abuse.
that they
It's
went
gonna
through
affect
is
them
gonna
in their
affect them.
relationships.
So we'll just say that as far as her doing like essentially for her basic needs, you feel
Mm-hmm.
that they are being met. But
Yeah.
we know that it takes way more than that to raise a child
But
and
when
to
it
be a
comes
good
to my
parent.
sons, boy, I be seeing them sometime. It be looking like they want to ask you for some change. So when I
Right.
look at
Yeah,
one of
but
the
that's just
two,
the surface. Like your
mm-hmm.
sons are showing
Oh no,
probably
they're
what
not
your
getting
daughter is
pulled.
like on the inside. Cause she still needs you and she's been withheld from you and who
She'll
knows
come
what
back.
that's like for her.
Man, my little girl's so smart. To be a 9-year old, this little girl, her mind works very well. She's already dissected her mother. She asked her mother, why is it when I go to my dad's house, you always calling and telling me I gotta come home, but when my sisters go to their dad's house, you don't do that to them. And she wasn't even 9 years old at this time. She was like 7 or 8. So for her to put that thought together in her mind as a 7, 8 year old, yeah, she's gonna peep you real quick. I give you about 14, 15, that little girl not gonna want to be around you no more because she see that you playing her, you cheating her out of life.
Right. And that's
If
who's
you
gonna determine if she was a good mother or not, not you.
your child, thank you. I tell
Yeah,
people this all the time. You can't tell me I'm a bad father. I'm not your dad.
exactly.
I'm
Facts.
not your father. You can't judge
Facts.
me off my parenting skills. I'm not your parent.
Yeah.
That's so true.
So let me ask you this: what are some of the things you do on the day to day basis to deal with this
What
issue of
I
being alienated?
what
Yeah,
do I do?
Your coping mechanism.
yeah.
Y'all want me to be honest?
you you ain't even got
Don't
a
show
choice.
us. Just give us a little brief summary.
We're gonna call it
I've
Mary
always
Jane.
Recreational use, okay, we understand, but
Ah, nah.
and that's how I deal with it. I be all right. It be cool. It's all good. I done been through so much, bro. It's all good. Like I say,
are you in therapy? Have you thought about
I
seeking?
actually see therapy. I just started. I had to.
All right.
Okay, good for you.
Good for you,
I
man.
had to, man.
Cause
When,
your mental well being is just as
Yeah.
of course.
important.
And
Hell
your
yeah.
kids need you, man.
Yeah,
For
I get
sure.
some soon, man. I gotta jump all these hurdles. I got a whole felony case I'm fighting, trying to stay here for my children. And their mother is still causing other problems while I'm fighting the problem that you caused already.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
messed up.
that's rough, man.
We definitely rocking with you. We appreciate you for coming on and being transparent and
I
sharing your
appreciate
story.
y'all having
You
me, man.
you definitely sound like you got a plan. So keep us posted. We want to know. We want to know
I'll
what the
definitely
outcome is for the
update.
case you're fighting and everything. What you plan to do with your kids. So if you need to reach back out to us, to chop it up
Well,
again, that's what we're here for.
I sent y'all my number. If somebody wouldn't mind, y'all could hit me with the iCloud or your little business text. So when I do get my kids, cause I'm coming for them, and I'm gonna send
That's
y'all a
what I
picture
like to
of
hear,
me and all my kids. I ain't had them all together since
man.
2021. They haven't all been with me. But yeah,
Yeah,
man,
man.
my
It's
kids.
only temporary, man. Uh, and like you said, man, as long as you got a plan, you stick to that plan, man. It's gonna all work out for you. Cause one thing they can't do, they can't deny your rights and your time with your kids.
And we not here to pass judgment because again, we say it all the time. Nobody is walking your path. Nobody is in your place, in your space. They could never understand if it's not
Why?
them.
Yes,
And
yes,
so when
you
we
can't.
we hear fathers tell us, "Hey, I had to take a step back, but I'm doing
I
this."
did. It was breaking my mental down.
As
Yeah.
long as it's making sense, because it can only make sense to somebody who can relate. The,
Mm-hmm.
the
You're
the
right.
naysayers and the people that don't even understand what the hell this
Never been
stuff is
through
like,
it.
we don't care
They
what they
never been
talking
through
about.
Cause they just
because
want to
they never
voice it.
been through it.
They're just gonna voice their opinion. But like I say all the time, and for parental alienation to stop, the people that's not being affected by it gotta understand it. And if they don't understand it, then they're gonna always just try to pass judgment. Oh, he's a deadbeat, or oh
Do
this
more, do better, or go
straight
to
to the core.
court, or
Yeah,
And
do
I
this,
yeah.
or do
swear to
that.
God, that's all you hear. It's anytime you cry out about your children, no matter who it is, you could be with your boys, and you expect your boys to feel where you're coming from. They don't. They make it
Mm-mm.
seem as if you're not going hard enough, as if
Right. Or what's the problem?
like
You
I
the problem.
supposed to grow a fucking cape or something. I'm a person. I'm just a person.
They don't get it, man. You're not speaking their language.
What you
And the
need to
thing
do
of it
is
is it's a whole team against me. They ready. They get to work early in the morning. It's a whole team against what I'm trying to do. And that's to put the family structure black with us. Even if, because to be honest, the family, I feel like the family is dead. Just think about it. How many times you done been out on Father's Day? And I ain't gonna call nobody no names, but it'd be a group of women, just a bunch of women at a table celebrating, woo, and some kids. It's like that's the new family structure. It'd be mama, grandma, the kids.
It's sad.
you're not
And it's
lying
We
about
sad.
see
that.
it all the time. We see it all the
And we
time. They
see it all
ruining
the
these
time.
kids.
The stud women, they be out on Father's Day getting celebrated. I be laughing. When that kid grow up, that kid is going, man, I've been a stepdad before. Ain't no reward for that, man.
Nah,
Man,
It is.
them
It
folks gonna
is.
terrorize
It
you.
depends.
it's
And it
not no
goes
reward
back
for
to
no
what I
dead
said.
for
The
real. We just
child
gotta
has
do
to
what we
want
gotta do.
the child has to want a father. You can't be a stepdad to a child that got a father. That's the problem. A lot of these kids got dads. You knocking my mama off. I ain't got nothing to do with you.
Well, it just depends on the situation. Because as us being a married couple, we are step parents to each other's children, and we
Damn
have a
it.
child of our own. But it's all about how you
Okay.
blend that family and how that family dynamic
Yeah.
is made to be. Everybody's situation ain't the same.
We have a good background. Shout out to our
I
moms and
like
our
what y'all done,
fathers.
though.
I know
Yeah,
they watching,
yeah.
but yeah,
A step, but we understand what you're saying. We not trying to sugarcoat the shit because it's not easy,
yeah.
right? We both felt getting the short end of the stick being
Listen,
step parents
if
because
I
it's
was to
hard to
call,
parent other people's kids, but you just got to
ooh,
stick it through.
but
You
one
got to do
thing
what you
y'all
got to
gotta
do.
do, and that's for everybody, when it's a blended home, those two families, I mean, those two heads, meaning you and you, we gotta have each other back. If that man telling your child to do something and you don't stand behind him, like, you heard what he said, that child ain't gonna never get it and understand that we're a team. And I just like y'all remind me and my ex. Like when I first started watching y'all and I heard you talk, ma'am. What's your name?
Mm-hmm. Shima.
Shima.
Mrs.
Mi-
Who's the Deadbeat. Shout out.
Mrs. Who
The
was the
most hated
dead?
stepmom.
The most
What
hated
the
stepmom,
most
yes.
hated? Hey, keep on stepping, mama. Cause for real, they hate it. They hate it
Respect.
because they couldn't bring that out of that man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
That's real.
your honey
That
wasn't
ain't
that
that
sweet,
that ain't got nothing to do with me.
but it ain't. What God got for you is for you. You know, you took that situation and you had that vision and put what you needed to put in it to get what you wanted out of it. And I commend you for it. Salute to y'all, man.
That
Keep.
Thank you.
that's a fact, man. Because I am not the same person I was
Thank you.
I mean, dealing with
with.
certain people, man. My ex, she brought me back closer to God. You know, I grew up in the church, and I kind of strayed away after my mom passed. I
Hmm.
say I was 20 when she died. I didn't get back into God until I was about 30 years old. I'm 35. You know, I prayed, but as far as living by the Bible, I wasn't studying none of that. She taught she
I hate that y'all had to that situation. Y'all couldn't survive that.
I mean, but
Cause
like I say, we're still friends. And the fact that we're still friends and we still get along, we still work together, we still have dealings where we have to both be there.
well, that's good. That's a good thing. That's a beautiful thing.
So it is
Um,
room for repair, but as of right now, I'm gonna let stuff, we're gonna let some
yeah,
time.
Yeah, you got take
you gotta take your time.
and you got to take care of yourself, man. Like you already taking the step in the right directions, man. You going to therapy. You finna stop drinking. Maybe stop
He
smoking.
done said I'm gonna stop drinking and I
Yeah,
ain't
you
we
sober,
got
go,
but
we gonna
nah, I'm
do it
about
all.
to.
We
look.
root for you.
We gotta
Bro,
we
I've been
gotta
drinking
put these
since I
in
was a
emotion.
kid, so I'm about to stop. I definitely am about to stop. You
I
see,
know you
it's on
is.
me, bro.
I see it in you, man. I see the change in you, bro. Like I
Yeah.
see it. It's coming.
And look, ain't we ain't saints on here. We all sinners, right?
I
You just
mean, we
gotta
were
do what you
born in
gotta
sin.
do.
We were born into sin. We came from a sinful act. It's
Yeah,
okay. When nobody mama married,
yeah,
I don't even know my dad. And
Wow.
the fact that I don't know my dad is the reason why I made such a big deal about me being in my kids' lives. And
Yeah.
it's just I could have never imagined a woman not wanting their kids to have a good father.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Regardless of what he did, because I literally don't speak with y'all. If I gotta come get my kids, I'm parked in front of the house across the street on the other side. Hey, come on, let's go. Yeah, let's ride. Let's get up out of here. I don't even want to be there that long. And I
They
don't
hate
understand.
they hate you more than they love their kids.
They hate me, love. You can't love these kids if you hate me that much.
Exactly.
You're
They
telling
don't.
my son's birthday came, and I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I gotta go, cause I got somewhere to be. But my son wanted to go to LA for something. Was it his birthday? Something. He just wanted to go to LA, and everybody know that Grand Theft Auto 5 is in LA. So he like, I want to
Mhm.
go to Los Santos. He just so excited about going out here to LA. You know what his mama did? She made us miss his flight. I went by myself.
you said.
Well,
That's
I
good
wasn't finna let
conversation.
that sweet who.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
You
no,
gotta
sir.
sometimes it be that way, and sometimes you gotta take a step back. I tell men all the time before we get up out of here that sometimes taking a step back is not a bad move, man, because that's how you can
It's not.
regroup and do what you gotta do.
And
And
come
that
back
to
to
me,
the drawing
that's
board
what
with
I seen like you
mine.
doing. Because earlier in the conversation, you was just saying you done, but I just think you would never be done because you seem like a man that love your kids. You just taking a step back before you
I
Hard.
mean, a
go
lot
hard.
of it be anger with me. I don't really show much emotion, like as far as crying or being sad or moping around. It just kind of converts into anger, and that's kind of where I'm speaking from, a place of anger. Cause it'd be like, forget this junk. If I had a dad, I wish my mama would have told my daddy that he couldn't come around me. Like I need him right now. my mom gone. I only got a dad. Like I need my parents. So people got to start thinking about that, man. You're not gonna be here forever, and when you gone, you want someone else that shares that same love for that child to be there for that child. Because, like I say, my mom died. I had younger sisters. If it wasn't for me, they would have been terrorized. They would
Before
have
we
been
let
horrible.
you,
Hmm?
before we let you go, we gotta ask you the $1 million question.
What's up?
Who's
Who's
the
the
deadbeat?
deadbeat?
That bitch.
You so Atlanta. That's too funny.
Man, please.
But thank you for
Yeah,
joining us. I
yeah, we
mean,
appreciate it, man.
I
they
feel
probably gonna come for
y'all
us. They
having
gonna
me.
come for us with
I
this
feel
one.
so released though. I don't care. I'm gonna be reading the comments early in the morning on my way to my first job. So I hope they at work while they typing them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Just keep
I'm finna.
doing your thing, man, and to keep striving to be better, man,
Yep.
and go
That's
get your
all you can
kids,
do.
bro. And if you need anything, you want to ask any questions, man, feel free.
That's what we
I,
here for.
I appreciate it, man. I can't wait to see it on your story. To be honest, I ain't even think y'all were gonna respond to me.
Oh man, we respond to everybody,
Everybody.
man. We see
Everybody
everything.
that's worth responding to.
This our purpose, man. So
But
a
to
lot of
my
people
people
just
that's
think we
in
just
Atlanta,
doing this for social media, man. No, this is our day-to-day life, man. We live this, man. So yeah. So
We take this very, very, very
yeah.
seriously and
So
very personally. So
yeah. So we appreciate you, man. You have a good night, man.
you too, brother.
All right.
peace.
Look.